Good morning, I'm Gretchen Hall. We're coming in live this Thursday, the 18th day of September, bringing you Morning Matters because your mornings matter. Let's get to the stories that matter today. The House of Representatives has a new speaker. Following the resignation of Martin Romualdez yesterday, lawmakers elected Isabela Congressman Boji D to the post. The House will change under my watch. This was the strong message of newly installed Speaker Boji D, who also admitted to the chamber's failings and appealed for a chance to regain public trust. And while tropical depression Mirasol is set to leave the Philippine area of responsibility, weather conditions are unlikely to improve. This is due to another tropical depression, Nando, which may reach typhoon category as it nears the landmass of northern Luzon. Welcome to our program, Morning Matters, where we talk about the issues you need to know for the rest of your day. Now, first on the agenda, a historic shakeup in the House of Representatives. Speaker Martin Romualdez steps down amid corruption controversies, paving the way for Isabela Congressman Faustino Boji D to take the helm. Here is a report.
Yesterday was a big day for the House of Representatives. With the resignation of Congressman Martin Romualdez as House Speaker,
today, with a full heart and a clear conscience, I tender my resignation as Speaker of the House of Representatives. The greatest act of leadership is the grace to let it go, so that this institution may endure stronger than ever before.
and the rise of Congressman Faustino Boji D for the post.
Tinatanggap ko ng buong kababang loob ang hamon ng pagiging Speaker of the House.
As the new House Speaker, D faces a flood of problems, starting with the Chamber's probe into irregularities in flood control projects. He vowed that no one will be shielded.
Under my leadership, this House will change. I will not defend the guilty, and I will not shield the corrupt.
At a recent hearing, contractor Curly Discaya dropped the names of Romualdez and Ako Bicol Party List Representative Zaldico, as politicians frequently mentioned in questionable transactions.
The issues surrounding certain infrastructure projects have raised questions that weigh not only upon me, but upon this institution we all serve. The longer I stay, the heavier that burden grows on me, on this House, and on the President I've always sought to support.
Speaker D, meanwhile, assured the public of fair hearings.
Kung meron mang mga pangalang nabanggit sa mga pagdinig na ito, may mga tamang forum para sila ay makapagpaliwanag. No rank, no ally, no office will be spared from accountability.
Beyond the probe, D said he will focus on the 2026 budget, promising close scrutiny of every peso.
Sisiguruduhin natin na ang bawat sentimo ng paglalaanan ng budget sa bawat departamento ay tutugma sa pangangailangan ng mamamayang Pilipino. Pagtutulungan nating makapagpasa ng isang maayos at malinis na budget.
The new speaker also appealed to the public to restore their trust in Congress, asking for a second chance.
Sa ating pong mga kababayan, hinihiling ko po na magpatuloy tayong magmatsyag at magbantay. Tanging kayo lamang po ang makakapagsabi at makakapagpasya kung dapat bang ibigay ninyo muli ang tiwala sa amin.
His message to the new Congress:
Sa bagong Kongreso, ipaparamdam po natin ang tunay na malasakit. Ipapamalas natin ang tunay na paglilingkod. Walang ibang agenda, walang ibang interes. Kapakanan ng Pilipino ang simula, gitna at dulo at wala ng iba.
Several lawmakers from both the House of Representatives and the Senate have welcomed Representative Boji D's election as the new speaker. More in this report.
The change in House leadership has drawn largely positive reactions. Several lawmakers expressed confidence in new Speaker Boji D, citing his extensive political experience.
Nakita naman natin naging magaling siyang congressman, naging magaling din siyang governor, naging magaling din siyang vice governor, at talagang nakita naman natin na naging stable naman nung pinamamahalaan niya yung probinsya ng Isabela.
I have known him to be a good man. He has his own quiet leadership here in the House of Representatives as Deputy Speaker, and I'm ready to serve him as a floor leader in plenary.
Even those who were once considered potential contenders acknowledge the significance of the transition.
Magkakaroon ng leadership na change, di ba? Ito yung first step naman doon sa reforma. So, bigyan man naman natin ng pagkakataon, di ba?
The public confidence with the institution has been eroded. So how can we regain the trust with the present leadership being a suspect of the scandals that has been brought up?
Some lawmakers, however, remain cautious.
Deputy Speaker siya ni Romualdez. Ang feeling ko, pag siya yung naging Speaker, mauulit yung issue na to next year kasi parehas lang sila ni Romualdez. Both under Marcos, walang mangyayari dito.
In the upper chamber, President Tito Soto called D an excellent choice, highlighting his long, controversy-free track record in public service.
It's a very good record. He's been vice mayor, mayor, congressman, governor, vice governor, congressman-elect. And in all those years, no bad record. I'm sure he's capable and it'll be good for the House.
Presidential sister Senator Amy Marcos also acknowledged D's capability but described him as too kind to face the challenges of his new role.
Si Boji, kawawa naman. Ang hirap ng lugar niya. Kilala ko si Boji, bata pa kami. Magkasama kami sa Kabataang Barangay. Sobrang bait ng tao, awang-awa ako sa kanya. Magaling si Boji, kaya lang ang depekto lang niya, sobrang bait. Yun na nga. Marami talagang magpapalusot, maraming magdidemand. Ako, apakahirap ng sitwasyon niya. Arguably the worst job in the world.
Meanwhile, Senator Bato de la Rosa questioned former Speaker Martin Romualdez's resignation, suggesting it could be seen as an admission of guilt amid controversies surrounding flood control projects.
Is that a sign of guilt? Bakit siya nag-resign? Sign of guilt ba?
Guilt about what, sir?
About the accusation. About the problema natin sa flood control. I don't know kung anong bakit siya nag-resign.
For News 5, Mon Gualvez, we are One News.
Agriculture Secretary Francisco Tiu Laurel Jr. said Representative Zaldi Co approached him in September 2024 to request import permits for frozen fish. In an interview with The Big Story, Laurel said Co identified 3 companies seeking a total of 3,000 containers. However, the Department of Agriculture declined the request. Laurel added that the 3 companies had sought to import around 90,000 tons of fish.
I told him na mahirap ito dahil the amount is so huge. Number one, it's more than the allocation for everybody, the industry itself. He tried to justify it to me na hindi, dapat mas marami para mas magmura ang isda at just trying to justify whatever possible to convince me. And then, I really tried to avoid him sometimes calling and texting.
Let's move on over to weather. Pag-asa is monitoring 2 tropical cyclones within the Philippine area of responsibility. Tropical Depression Mirasol was last spotted some 165 kilometers west of Calayan, Cagayan, while Tropical Depression Nando was located 1,225 kilometers east of southeastern Luzon. Mirasol is expected to intensify further but is already on its way out of par. Nando, meanwhile, is forecast to move slowly northwestward over the West Philippine Sea, or rather the Philippine Sea. It will continue to intensify and may reach typhoon category by Saturday. For now, signal number 1 remains up over several areas due to TD Mirasol. Now, these are Batanes, Babuyan Islands, western portion of mainland Cagayan, Apayao, northern portion of Abra, Ilocos Norte, and northern portion of Ilocos Sur. When we return, we'll further discuss leadership change at the House of Representatives with House Deputy Speaker Jay Kong-hoon. Don't go away. Morning Matters will be back after a quick break. Welcome back. You're still watching Morning Matters here on One News. The Justice Department has approved the filing of 2 counts of sex trafficking charges against Gawad Kalinga founder Tony Meloto. The DOJ found prima facie evidence to indict Meloto for allegedly establishing, quote, a structured system of sexual exploitation using organizational hierarchy and deception. 2 scholars of Gawad Kalinga School for Experiential and Entrepreneurial Development, or SEED, have accused Meloto of sexually abusing them in 2017. Meloto had previously called these accusations baseless. State prosecutors agreed with the complainants that Meloto used his authority to abuse them sexually and, quote, satisfy his lustful desire.
You know, I'm happy to say that the fact that they filed a complaint, they were able to file the complaint, that to them is already a victory because they felt heard already. Because as you said, it took them 8 years, but it wasn't as if they reached out to us just last year and nothing was done prior to those years that they were silent. They felt that they were actually silenced.
The Commission on Elections on Wednesday officially proclaimed the Gabriela Women's Party as the 64th winning party list group in the May 2025 polls. COMELEC Chairman George Garcia said the additional seat was necessary to meet the constitutional requirement that the party list sector occupy 20% of the House's total membership. Gabriela Party List Representative Sara Jane Elago, who attended the proclamation as the group's first nominee, vowed to push for measures promoting women's rights, genuine agrarian reform, and affordable basic goods. Gabriela, which ranked 55th in the party list race with 256,811 votes, secured the final seat after the COMELEC UNBAC upheld the cancellation of Duterte Youth's registration for failing to disprove the grounds for its disqualification. Moving on over to sports, Las Filipinas stand on the brink of history in the 2025 FIVB Men's World Championship. With a 1-1 record in Pool A, the host squad needs just one more big win to secure a spot in the round of 16. Their final challenge is a clash with powerhouse Iran that's happening later today at the Mall of Asia Arena. A win over Iran would mark the country's first ever advance to the knockout stage in the FIVB Worlds. Let's take a short break. Keep it here on One News. More matters discussed after a quick break. Welcome back. You're still watching Morning Matters here on One News. The Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, now under the chairmanship of Senator Ping Lacson, will resume its probe into the alleged anomalies in flood control projects. And for updates, we have Mobile Journal Merimon Reyes on the line. Magandang umaga sa iyo, Merimon.
Good morning, Gretchen. At 9 o'clock a.m. na set na nga ipagpatuloy ng Blue Ribbon Committee, but now under the chairmanship of Senator Ping Lacson, ang kanilang probe on the anomalous flood control project and other concerns related nga dito sa sinasabing may presensya raw ng korupsyon o kaya yung pagkukupit sa pera o pondo ng bayan. Gretchen, yung ilan sa mga inaasahan na resource person na dadalo sa pagdinig ngayong araw, sila DPWH Secretary Vivencio Dizon, itong si Planning, Public-Private Partnership and Information Management Service ng DPWH na nasasangkot din na si Yusek Maria Catalina Cabral, even from the DBM, Secretary Anina Pangandaman, Secretary of Justice si Crispin Remulla, represented ng kanyang Prosecutor General na si Richard Anthony Padulyon. Kasama rin dito si Acting Chairman ng PCAB na si Dr. Pericles P. Dakay. At pagdating naman doon sa mga contractor, inaasahan natin, Gretchen, itong si Mark Alan Arevalo, Sally N. Santos, Warren T. Jose ng WJ Construction, pati itong si Nina Elamparo Jose ng WJ Construction na last time na sinasabi pumunta raw dito sa Senado para raw puntahan ang opisina ni Senator Jinggoy Estrada para doon sa kickback o obligasyon. And among the personalities, Gretchen, din is yung Bulacan Group of Contractors na inaasahang dadalo sa pagdinig ngayong araw. Kasama na dyan sina Engineer Henry Alcantara, Bryce Hernandez, and JP Mendoza. Gretchen.
Oo, ito nga, no? Titignan natin ngayon yung listahan ng nabanggit mo. DOJ Secretary Boying Remulla at ang Department of Justice, what will their role be there?
Gretchen, tinitingnan kasi nila dito yung mga legality patungkol dito sa mga nasasangkot from the contractors, sa PCAB, and even from the DBM at yung iba pang mga inaasahan na dadalo. Yung isa pa kasi na nire-raise din na concern dito is hindi na lang doon sa side ng mga contractors, maging doon sa PCAB mismo. And the-raise yan ni Senator Erwin Tulfo, kine-question niya na may itong mga regulators supposedly ng PCAB, binubuo rin daw ng mga contractor na nagbabag din ng mga proyekto. So yan yung ilan sa mga nais nilang maituwid ngayon. Even itong batas ngayon, Republic Act 6713, ito yung sinasabing Code of Conduct for Public Officials na namamataan nilang na-violate daw ng mga ito, Gretchen.
So more often doon sila para makinig para sa build-up of cases?
Oo, Gretchen. Actually, yun yung titingnan natin ngayon yung magiging direksyon ng Blue Ribbon Committee. Ang sabi kasi ni Senator Singh, kung saan iniwan ni Senator Marcoleta itong Blue Ribbon, doon daw sila magsisimula at doon daw nila dadagdagan o posibleng maiba yung direksyon. Pero ang sinisigurado raw ni Senator Singh, lahat daw ng masasangkot, wala raw silang sasantuhin hanggat may resibo raw na may pipresenta. That also includes, Gretchen, yung CCTV footage na posibleng makita ngayon o mapag-usapan na pinapakitang itong si Nina from the WJ Construction na pumunta raw nga sa Senado August 19. So siya, ito from the WJ Construction, and ang nasabi pa ni Senator Ping, ipapasabtila rin daw nila yung CCTV operator sa Senado para maipaliwanag yung konteksto ng footage na yon August 19. Gretchen.
Okay, napansin ko doon sa listahan mo ng mga contractor, wala ang mga diskaya. Bakit?
Actually, kasama sila, Gretchen, sa mga ito. And pagdating doon sa iba pang mga contractor, ang nakalagay pa itong mag-asawang Diskaya ng Alfred Omega, St. Gerard Contractor. From Wawaw Builders, si Arevalo, from SYMS Construction, Sally Santos, from the Iron Construction, si Robert Imperio. Pero yun lang yung so far na nakita natin sa listahan kasi yung ibang parts ng top 15 na list of contractors, ang sinasabi ni Senator Tinggan, nilalagyan na raw nila ng prioritization yung mga ipapatawag na contractor para hindi masayang yung oras at panahon ng pagpunta nila. Pero for today, nakakasama ang mag-asawang Diskaya sa pagdinig.
Sabi mo kanina, pupunta rin si dating Secretary Babe Singson. Is that part of his role as now with the Infrastructure Commission? Siya ba ay observer lang dito or will he be a resource person also?
Gretchen, yung first person itong si DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon dahil recently din marami na silang binisita rin ng mga flood control project.
Vince Dizon. Okay, mali pagkakarinig ko. Oo.
Vince Dizon. Kasama na rin sa mga leaders person kasi yung mula sa engineering office ng Bulacan 1st District. At karamihan sa mga ito nagmumula nga sa 1st District Engineering Office ng Bulacan. Kasama na dyan, for example, itong sina Materials Engineer, Engineer Merch Jaron Laut, Project Engineer, Engineer RJ Dumasi, at Accountant Juanito Mendoza. So medyo ngayon, Gretchen, magiging jam-pack itong araw ng pagdinig dahil wala rin plenary session. So even beyond 3 o'clock in the afternoon, maaari nilang bigyan ng oras itong Senate probe ng Blue Ribbon, Gretchen.
Mukhang halos complete attendance tayo dito ngayon sa Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing na ito. Kulang na lang sa aking tala, COA, no? Hindi pa napapatawag ng Senado. Pero I guess we'll wait for that later on in the other hearings. But in the meantime, we'll let you go. Maraming salamat. 9 a.m. itong pagsisimula ng Blue Ribbon Committee hearing. We'll stay tuned for that. In the meantime, thank you very much. We have Mobile Jordo Marymon Reyes reporting to us live from the Senate. The independent bloc of Representatives Albi Benitez, Toby Chanco, and Duke Frasco has crossed over to the majority. This comes following the election of Isabela Representative Faustino Boji D as the new House Speaker. The three lawmakers who previously opposed Romualdez' speakership threw their support behind D. Now, it remains unclear if the veteran legislators will receive key committee posts under the new leadership. And joining us today, we have Bacolod City Representative Albi Benitez. Will get his thoughts on this major political shift and what it means for Negros and the country. Magandang umaga po sa inyo, Congressman.
Magandang umaga, Gretchen. Magandang umaga sa lahat ng nakikinig.
Congressman, yesterday I was listening to an interview of Sandro Marcos at sabi po niya, kayo po ay nag-give way for Boji D. Is that true? And why did you give way?
Well, very collegiate naman yung body ng Congress at pag nakita po natin na may majority na ang isang kandidato for speaker or napili na ng mga major political blocs at saka majority ng mga members natin, hindi na po tayo humahabol ng position. I think by the change of leadership, sabi nga ng bagong speaker, Speaker D, na to give him a chance to redeem the image of the House. So that's why bumoto na kami para sa kanya.
So you were hoping also that you might be elected as House Speaker?
Well, sa usap-usapan naghahanap talaga ng kapalit, no? I think when all of these issues came about and para naging suspect nga ang Congress at dahil part sila at they play a major role on the scandals that we've been hearing, marami pong lumapit, marami pong nagsabi na dapat pong palitan and ako naman sang-ayon ako doon. So that's the reason why I think my name was dragged as a possible candidate.
Oo. Sabi nga po ni Senator Amy Marcos, sobrang bait daw nitong si Boji D. At ang yung fear niya, baka mahirapan nga. No? Pero is he some sort of a middle ground candidate? Kaya siya yung siya yung napili?
Well, if you listen to what he said, no, yung right after when he was elected, nagbigay po siya ng isang talumpati at makikita mo pa yung sincerity niya, makikita mo po yung character niya. Talaga ho siyang ganun. I think Senator Amy is correct. Talagang mabait siya, but he was firm on what he intends to do during his term.
So kayo po ngayon ay parte na ho ba ng majority? Hindi na po kayo independent?
Tama po yun.
Are you hoping to or eyeing some committees under his leadership?
Hindi pa namin napag-usapan yan. I think inuna lang muna ang position of speaker And then ang next, I think, biggest challenge is of course passing the budget. So nandun kami ngayon, napag-usapan din sa aming mga colleagues na will give priority first on passing the budget bago pag-usapan yung mga committee membership.
Medyo mahaba-habang usapin po yun, ha? Kasi ngayon pa lang, kumbaga, kinakalkal ito. I mean, how do you expect to settle that? Di ba, there was a proposal to send it back, but now, iayusin daw po siya ng DPWH at saka ng Department of Budget and Management. Gaano katagal kaya? What would it take to be able to pass the General Appropriations Bill?
Well, may timeline kami. We cannot last more than 3 weeks to be sent to the Senate. So, hindi pwede po maging maberya kami ng mga internal changes. No? So, that's the reason why I think we will held in abeyance muna ang committee chairmanship. Unahin po ang budget. At alam naman po natin, very transparent na ngayon. No? We've allow the public to scrutinize, to see, at panoorin ang mga ginagawa naming budget deliberations.
Looking at the speech of the new speaker, medyo bold po yung kanyang mga salita. Sabi po niya, under my leadership, this house will change. But if you take a look at the background of the speaker, he also comes from a long-time political dynasty in Isabela with 9 other relatives in government. Some are afraid that this might be same old, same old. So ano po sa tingin po ninyo yung madadala po niyang mga pagbabago sa house?
Well, sabi nga niya, bigyan natin siya ng chance. Diba? So that's what we're doing. Bago po tayo magsalita ng kung ano-ano, let's give him a chance. Naniniwala po ako dun sa mga sinasabi niya. In the short discussion that I've had, talagang naghahanap po siya ng paano po mariredeem ang Congress dahil ang imahe, ang image has been tarnished because of there is suspicion that Congress nagko-cover up sa mga anomalyas na ginagawa ng mga members. So, let's give him a chance. Yan po hinihingi niya at tingin ko po dapat naman bigyan siya ng pagkakataon to prove himself.
Ano po sa tingin niyo yung magiging malaking pagkakaiba po niya dun sa dating speaker?
Well, unang-una, hindi po siya sangkot sa 3 taon na budget appropriation or budget yung pinasang budget. So he is not involved in that. And I think very sincere po siya. Tsaka mukhang wala siyang sasantuhin. There will be no sacred cows in this investigation.
Actually, nga po yung sabi niya, no? He also said that I will not defend the guilty, I will not shield the corrupt. With that, meron kayang posibilidad na matawag din itong si dating House Speaker Martin Romualdez at si House Appropriations Chair Zaldico sa mismong hearings ng Kongreso. At pwede ba yun na colleague po ninyo ang bagat tinatanong ninyo tungkol sa nangyari sa budget process?
Well, I'm not sure kung kami pa mag-i-investigate. No? I think na buo ng independent commission, so malamang ipapasa na to ang yung role and mandate to investigate. But the House definitely will have to assist and give everything that they know kung ano ang mga documents required, ano ang mga testimonies required. Mas madali na po ibibigay yan dahil meron na po tayong bagong leadership na hindi posibleng sangkot dun sa ini-investigate na mga issues.
Oo. So the most likely forum here for Martin Romualdez and Zaldico, the 2 congressmen, nasa labas na po ng Kongreso at saka ng Senado, o posible rin po silang maipatawag?
Well, I'm not sure. No? Ang rinig ko naman dun sa Senado, I think mag-wrap up na lang sila. No? I think 1 or 2 hearings sa Senate Blue Ribbon Committee and then ipapasa na rin po nila sa Independent Commission.
And with that, ano po kaya yung direksyon na maaaring matake nitong flood control investigation dito naman po sa House? Kung hindi na po yan pag-uusapan, how could the House probe be as effective and complementary?
Well, unang-una, I think the truth, yung katotohanan, nasa mga siguro documents ng House or mga testimonies, mga ibang mga colleagues namin, baka may alam, no? Kasi they were really a major player and had a big role in approving the previous budgets. So, ito po maging malaking well, they can contribute sa investigation ng independent commission.
Okay. Sabi rin po ni Speaker Boji D, siya po ay nagtutulak ng budget reform, no? Sa inyong palagay, ano kaya yung maaaring pagbabago dito sa proseso ng paglikha ng budget at to make it more transparent and to lessen the chances for insertions happening?
Well, yung insertions has been part of the budget process ever since. Ang kailangan lang po is to be transparent in all of the transactions and all of the items of the budget para makita ng taong bayan kung saan napupunta. For example, sa amin, no, sa Bacolod City, I'm asking for a flood control summit para bago po i-propose ang mga flood control projects, alam na po ng taong bayan kung saan po dadalhin, anong gagawin. No? So, the question is, and the issue is really transparency. So, the more transparent we are with the budget, mas madaling tatanggapin at mas mawawala po yung mga scandals or issues or anomalies or irregularities na nangyari noong previous budgets.
At isa nga po na ni-raise po ni Congressman Toby Chanco, yung lack of transparency dito sa mga nangyari sa small committee. Tingin niyo po ba posible na makompel to submit the report from that small committee under the leadership of Boji D? Kasi parang sabi po niya hanggang ngayon, hindi pa rin niya natatanggap yung report na hinihingi po niya.
Dapat po. That's why with this new leadership, I'm expecting po lalabas na po yan. Hindi naman po dapat mahirap yan because in this age of technology, kompleto po yan. No? In fact, dapat may mga soft copy para mas madaling makita ng mga membro ng Kongreso, pati po ng general public. And maybe we can go even further, no? That we can use modern technology to ensure na maging transparent talaga at mahirap galawin o mahirap singitan ng mga kung ano-anong mga irregular insertions. So,
kayo po ay, Kayo po
with
ay
modern technology po, magagawa po natin yan.
Oo, modern technology how po?
For example, di ba, we can use blockchain. Blockchain as a technology to ensure na bawat palit ng budget, bawat galaw ng budget, alam po natin kung sino gumalaw, saan napunta, saan nanggaling, at easily verifiable, easily seen by everyone. So, madali na po yan sa ngayong panahon, di ba? So, it's just a matter of just getting it done at hindi na po kailangan tanungin. Si Kong Toby Chanco had to ask several times. But with if we put it in this kind of technology, napakadali na po makita. In fact, hindi na kailangan tanungin, pwede na pakita beforehand.
Yun nga po, no, kung gugustuhin talaga, posible, lalong-lalo na sa ngayon. Pero kayo po ba, sa inyong distrito, ano po yung nakita ninyo? Meron po ba kayo nakitang irregularities? That's why you were vocal also against the House Speaker and retaining him as House Speaker. In your experience, how was that process, the discussions on the budget, and particularly dito po sa infrastructure?
Well, sa Bacolod City, halos wala actually walang ghost project. Ang isa lang ang actually that caught my attention was a cat's eye project na pahinto naman, no? That was inserted I think 2024 or 2025 pero napahinto na po 'yon. So yun lang po ang nakita ko, but otherwise all the rest wala pong ghost projects at tinitingnan na lang po natin kung saan pa kulang na kailangan dagdagan ang mga flood control projects sa city.
Pero marami po nagtataka, no? What could have caused the falling out with the former House Speaker between you and him? And some say that your opposition to him might be more political in nature. How do you respond to that criticism?
Hindi naman, kasi kung political yun, nakikita mo, madami sa amin have supported him because of siguro they think it's a survival para sa district nila. Pag lumabang kasi sa speaker, pwede kang mawalan ng budget, pwede kang pahirapan, and all those things. No? So if I was looking at it politically as far as I'm concerned, I would have just joined it. But nakita ko yung budget process at yung ginawa nung 2025 and previous budget. There's really some questions that I thought should have been addressed properly. For example, bakit po nagkakaroon ng 20 billion plus sa isang distrito? How was that done? Sino po ang pumili at naglagay ng mga ganyang klaseng allocation? So, yung mga yon really made me think na dapat talaga may magbago.
And what do you think is the level of culpability of the House Speaker here and the House Appropriations Chair? Bilang sila po ay nandun nga po sa BICAM, also in the small committee, how high should accountability go here, and how responsible are they for those insertions?
Well, how high will depend on the evidences at saka kung saan talaga mapupunta ang investigation. But because of command responsibility, I think that's why nangyari itong palitan ng change of leadership. Dahil suspect po ang Congress, suspect ang mga legislator. And ang nangyari nga, nagkaroon ng parang cover-up, no? I would bold to say. Kasi bakit ba isa sa mga membro ng Kongreso had to go to the Senate hearing just to show what he knows about the issue being discussed? So parang hindi na parang tama, di ba? Bakit kailangan pa magpunta kung saan-saan para ipakita? Dapat tayo mismo ang nagpapakita na ng mga nalalaman natin at mga bagay na dapat i-presenta sa publiko, sa public, for us to arrive at the truth of what really happened at kung sino-sino talaga nagkamali o nagkaroon ng sala.
And yun nga po, no, kung papatawagin po sila ng ICI, how do you imagine that investigation to go? Will that be available to the public, or will that be mostly in the courts already? Settled in the courts?
I think ICI is composed of very good people. The Justice Andy, Mayor Magalong have proven their integrity. So I think no stones will be left unturned pagdating po sa investigation ng ICI. Now, whether they have the power to prosecute, I don't think so. So that will be thrown to the courts for their disposition.
Kahapon po, we had Francisco Tiu Laurel, Agriculture Secretary, tell us on the big story that Representative Zaldico had approached him in September of 2024 to request for import permits for frozen fish. So parang meron daw po 3 kumpanya seeking a total of 3,000 containers. Medyo mabibigat po itong aligasyon ng Agriculture Secretary. Ano po kaya ang maaaring gawin dito? I mean, it's also a glaring conflict of interest.
Marami na nga information at mga ganyan na lumalabas, no? That's why I think it is incumbent on the leadership of the House na pabalikin si Congressman Zaldico para sagutin yung mga issues against him, no? So I think very important that he defends himself at this under the with this proper platform para malaman natin ang buong katotohanan. And I think his staying away is not helping him and finding the truth of what really happened.
Dapat po siya bumalik. Wala po kayo nababalitaan kung kailan, o may interest na pong bumalik?
wala po akong nababalitaan, but alam ko wala po siya sa Pilipinas.
Okay. We noticed that yesterday during the oath-taking ceremony of the House Speaker, your son was the one who administered the oath. Paano po siya napili? And what do you think is the messaging that we see right there? I mean, is this a total alignment between your family and in support of his speakership?
Ano naman, by chance lang, no? Because magkapartido sila. Both are coming from a PFP party. And Congressman Javi Benitez was the youngest. Siya po yung pinakabata dun sa partido ng PFP. Kaya po siya napili as to be the person to take the oath.
O naalala po namin, simula pa lang ng 20th Congress, kayo po ay naging vocal na dito nga sa pagiging independent po ninyo. What do you think was the deal breaker here that caused the former House Speaker to resign? Is it Malacanang's displeasure already with the way things are going?
Well, as they say, public office is public trust. So, nawala na po ang trust sa Kongreso and of course by command leadership, by command responsibility, the Speaker had to go.
And ngayon with the new leadership, ano pong inaasahan po ninyo na maitutulak po ninyo? I mean, we are going to the budget process already. Ano po yung mga gusto nyo makita for your city?
Well, hanapin ang katotohanan, bring the accountable to justice, and provide a transparent platform for all government transactions, all transactions sa Congress, and make sure that the proper reforms are instituted para hindi na maulit ang mga ganitong klaseng issues.
Pero pwede po pa kaya mahabol yung yung mga responsable dito sa 2025 budget. Said to
Hindi
be
pwede.
one of the most corrupt.
Dapat talaga habulin.
Pero hindi po sa Kongreso talaga mangyayari yun. Do you think it's impossible to have that?
It's hard to investigate ourselves, no? Kasi we are suspects. So baka ito na nga, pinag-iisipan na nga, madaling sabihin na hindi lang yan, hindi lang sila dapat ganito at dapat ganon. Para mawala po yung suspicion at magkaroon po ng credibility, nilagay na po natin sa isang independent commission.
Okay, maraming salamat for giving us your 2 cents on the new leadership in the House. And congratulations, I guess, because you've been pushing for this from the very start. We hope to see those changes that you mentioned in the House and for the House to regain the people's trust. We have Bacolod City Representative Albi Benitez joining us on Morning Matters today. Maraming salamat.
Thank you po.
Don't go away. More matters to discuss after a quick break. Keep it here on One News. Welcome back. You're still watching Morning Matters here on One News. Malacanang has welcomed the leadership of newly elected House Speaker Isabela Representative Faustino Boji D III. The Presidential Communications Office said the administration looks forward to working with D to advance policies that drive economic growth, strengthen basic services, and safeguard democracy. It added that President Bongbong Marcos underscored the House's crucial role in addressing pressing national issues and delivering concrete results that improve the lives of Filipinos, while also emphasizing respect for the chamber's independence. The palace likewise acknowledged the contributions of former Speaker Martin Romualdez. Metro Manila mayors have approved a uniform parking ban on national primary roads to ease traffic congestion. Under MMDA Regulation Number 25001, the Metro Manila Council prohibited parking on major thoroughfares such as EDSA, Rojas Boulevard, Taft Avenue, Quezon Avenue, Commonwealth Avenue, Katipunan Avenue, and Bonifacio Drive. On-street parking may be allowed on secondary roads through local ordinances except from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. and from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. The Swift Traffic Action Group, equipped with body cameras, will enforce the ban. The Department of Health has issued a warning to reckless drivers. They will not be covered by the zero balance billing if it is proven that their recklessness on the road caused the accident. More details in Mobile Journal Ivan Tarique's report.
Kung hindi ka takot madisgrasya kaya pasaway ka sa kalsada, huwag ka mandami ng iba. Yan ang mantra ng Department of Health dahil tiniyak nilang hindi maisasama ang mga kamote riders sa zero balance billing. Nag-viral online ang rider na ito habang gumagawa ng isang TikTok challenge sa motor. No hands pa at ang motor na ginamit walang plaka. Kaya nga ang sabi ng ilan, certified kamote rider. Pero ayon sa Department of Health, kung maaksidente ang tulad ng rider na ito, hindi siya saklaw ng zero balance billing ng gobyerno. Ayon pa sa DOH, bukod sa hindi automatic na may sasama sa palibreng ospital, dapat managot pa sa batas sa mga kamote rider at driver.
You are admitted because you were not wearing a helmet, you were not wearing a seatbelt, you were drinking, you are not now disqualified from the zero balance.
Ayon sa DOH, may higit 5,000 traffic injuries ang naitala nitong July. Nasa higit 3,300 ang kaso na kinasangkutan ng mga motorsiklo at kulang-kulang 3,200 sa kanila ay walang suot na helmet. Nasa 40 naman ang naitalang nasawi dahil sa mga aksidenteng ito.
Uminom ka and drive ka, you end up in my emergency department, you end up in my therapy. If you're lucky, the problem is 13,000 a year are not lucky. They end up dialing in.
Sa ngayon naman ng ilang mga rider na aming nakausap, ani nila, hindi naman kahirapan ang pagsusot ng helmet at pagsunod sa mga batas trapiko.
Dapat lang siguro kasi sila naman ang mali. Alam nilang bawal yung gano'n, ginagawa pa nila.
Sabi nga naman nakakatanda, don't drink and drive. At syempre, lagi magsuot ng helmet pag bumabiyahe. Safety is always the best policy. Mobile Journal Event rin po hatid ang mukha ng balita.
It is 9 a.m. The Blue Ribbon Committee hearing over at the Senate is set to begin. Let's watch out for that here on One News. That wraps up today's episode of Morning Matters, though. We hope we've given you the right start to your morning. Let's go ahead and make the day matter. My name is Gretchen Ho. We are One News, all sides, all the time.